Hey guys, this is the Close Friends Only podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Rosso. This podcast is inspired by my close friends on Instagram, which is my corner of the internet where we discuss life unfiltered, from worst first dates to valuable life advice. This podcast is a place where we can debrief dates, our favorite TV shows, or learn something productive from one of our close friends. Pour yourself a coffee or a glass of wine, and let's get today's episode started. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Close Friends Only podcast. I'm your host, Linz. It's been a while since my last podcast episode. It was October 19th, and it is Saturday, January 11th. So my apologies. Life really lifed at the end of 2024 for me. So it was not easy breezy. So it took some time. And I just got back to Vancouver from the most amazing month in my hometown, which is Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And it's all the rest and relaxation and time with my family that I really, really needed. It was so wholesome. My siblings and I took my grandma. Rather than getting her a present this year, we were she has everything. She's 82. She has all the things she needs. So we were let's do something with her because all she wants to do is spend time with us. So we took her to a casino because she loved to go to casinos when she was younger, and she hasn't gone for a really long time. And we're that's just something fun we could do, all of us. And we had so much fun. We were walking around the casino, and she's every time we pass someone, she's these are my grandkids. These are my grandkids. It was so cute. And then what else? Over the holidays, my brother, who is 24, him and I, for the first time in our entire lives, created our own secret handshake. I got to spend time with my girlfriends from high school. We spent New Year's Eve together, made our vision boards, ate grapes under a table, just like TikTok told us to do. It was so funny. It's all of us cramped under a table at midnight, eating grapes like chipmunks. So that was fun and silly. And honestly, one of my favorite things when I'm home is just grocery shopping with my dad. I don't know why that is a thing, but him and I forever, our family of everyone, just nobody else shopping. And I love shopping, any form of shopping, even grocery shopping. And my dad loves to grocery shop. So that's kind of our one-on-one time too. So him and I were just out and about, Christmas shopping, grocery shopping. I just love doing that with him. It's the smallest thing, but when I'm in Vancouver by myself all year round, it's just nice to do things with people. Anyways, today's drink of choice is a green tea. Nothing too exciting. I mean, I'm very much so doing a Saturday night at home alone as a 31-year-old. So anyways, today's episode, we are going to do 10 mantras, theories, and practices I'm bringing into 2025. I hope you enjoy. Okay, starting with number 1 is a not to-do list. I am a list queen. I definitely take after my mom for that. She, growing up, would make a list for everything. If we're going on a dance competition, huge list. If we're going camping, huge list. Grocery store, huge list. List galore of things you need to do or buy, etc., etc. But I've never thought of this, and I did pick this up from TikTok, but creating a not to-do list. So for example, maybe skipping a workout because you have too much work to do. That would be on my not to-do list. Although I don't do it often lately. So my guilty pleasure drink is Diet Coke. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this. And if you're in my close friends, you really, really know this. But Diet Coke is my guilty pleasure. But it has, of course, aspartame, caffeine. I mean, if it tastes as glorious as it does, you can assume that it's not good for you. So I have been catching myself stocking my fridge with actual cans of Diet Coke. Whereas usually it'd be a weekend, I'm at lunch, I'll be cheeky and order a Diet Coke. So on my not to-do list, I also have buying Diet Coke for at home. So things like that. So creating a not to-do list in addition to your to-do list so that you're mindful of some of the habits that are not so great and what you should not do. And as it is a new year, I've been reflecting and thinking about all the things I want. Because, like, to be honest, 2024 was not my year. In fact, a lot of people in my circle, like, 2024 was just, like, not everyone's year. I have one close girlfriend who got engaged. Other than her, the rest of us are just like, meh. I didn't do much traveling. I mean, I did work really, really hard and have some career wins and some financial wins for sure. But other than that, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty grim. So, one of my quotes slash mantras that I'm bringing into 2025 is the key to having it all is knowing you already do. So, in this scenario, it's like people always think like the grass is always greener and like you need this to be happy, you need that to be happy, and all these things. More money, the perfect body, material things are gonna make you happy. And it's like, no, the key to happiness or the key to having it all is knowing you already do, aka like you have the tools to be happy, use them. So that's another one I really want to follow this year. Okay, another one is for anyone who's experienced like ADHD for real or like self-diagnosed ADHD like myself. I think TikTok and doom scrolling and just these like fast-paced videos has really like made us a little bit more sporadic and like less focused. So another one I'm going to be following this year is don't put it down, put it away. So for example, like if you're on a task and then also just as females, right? Like we're such multitaskers and our minds are like running a million miles a minute. I think taking a moment to be like, okay, finish this task and then get on to the next. Or for example, like I'll admit in my apartment, like I'll have stuff like in my living room that needs to go into the bathroom. And I'll ping pong all around the house all day. And then I've been to the bathroom 6 times and I'm like, why didn't I just put that away in my bathroom? So the whole thing is kind of like, if you see something that needs to be put it away now, not later, sort of thing. Like get whatever needs to get done now before you forget, because that's also a really big one for me. Is like, oh my god, like starting something and then getting sidetracked and then moving on to something else and then I completely forget about the first thing I was doing. So it's just like really leaning into productivity and like being focused. So don't put it down, put it away. My next one is what wants you too. I think for any women, especially in their late 20s, early 30s, who are single and don't necessarily have it together, or maybe you're already married and you have a baby and you're thinking about your career and like what you want in your life. I think anyone who's just feeling like a little bit stuck in a rut, it's like what you want wants you too. Like put it into the universe, just be patient and it will happen. Of course, in certain scenarios, like you need to put in some effort. If you want a career to happen, it's not going to fall in your lap. So make sure you're being proactive about it. But what you want wants you to. Trust the timing in your life, trust the universe. Honestly, I don't want to get too woo-woo on you, but like manifesting is so powerful. It's crazy. I really got into it, I would say in like 2021-ish, 2022, and it's wild. Even the other night, like my friend Becca was like, you're a witch. She got off a plane from Dublin and she was like, dude, I am so exhausted. And I said, I'm manifesting that your suitcase is the first one off when you get to baggage claim. And she was like, you're a witch. My suitcase came off like as one of the first ones. However, her sister Andrea, she's like, Andrea's, we've been waiting for an hour. But the power of putting something you want into the universe, guys, it can really happen. So just believe in yourself, be proactive, and yeah. For everyone with health and wellness goals for 2025, this is a good one too. Eat and exercise like you love yourself. Ooh, that one cuts deep. I think, like, especially in my health and wellness journey, like, I'm quite stunted because of my PCOS. Like, it really affects my insulin resistance and stuff. So I'm trying to, like, remove the diet and exercise away from like how I look and like more so like how I feel. So eating and exercising like you love yourself. So providing your body with nutrient dense foods and moving your body like as much as you can versus like eating a diet you hate so that you can look skinny, or like going to super high intensity workouts because you think that's going to make you look skinny and hot for your next trip. Like year round, look at it as a investment in yourself to be the best version of yourself. And true self-love is feeding yourself properly and moving your body. And I don't know whether you're spiritual or religious, like having a spiritual side as well is really important, and taking time for that as well. But yes, I think that's a really good mindset and way to look at it versus like just an end goal to be skinny or ripped or whatever. Okay, the next one is the key to having it all is knowing you already do. So I think this is kind of like going to the grass is always greener type thing. Like, oh, if I lived in this place, I'd be happier. Or if I was skinnier, I'd be happier. If I was prettier, I'd be happier. If I had a Ferrari, I'd be happier. If I had a Prada bag, I'd be happier. I think realizing that like the way you look or material things isn't what's going to make you happy. It's like what's within, and like the people you surround yourself with, and like how you spend your days is really like what true happiness is. So I think knowing that you have all the tools to have real happiness is the first start to happiness. Like knowing that you have a capable and able body, knowing that you have people around you that love you, knowing that you have opportunities in the world and like opportunities to move abroad if you wanted to, but knowing that it all starts within and not because of other things. You hear it all the time from like celebrities and like billionaires, like money isn't everything, like, and also like you could be the richest person in the world and just have like the worst circle or just people around you who are like trying to mooch off you or are total opportunists and trying to take advantage of you. So the key to having it all is knowing you already do. The next one is going back to kind of like my manifesty woo-woo stuff. If you're into that stuff, amazing. If you're not, I definitely recommend, but I'm not gonna like go on about this one too much. But my life is abundant in all areas. So in the mornings I do the 5-minute journal, but then I also do some like off-roading manifesting, if you will. I really like law of assumption. So rather than journaling like I will have a promotion by the end of the month, I will have a promotion by the end of the month, it could be like I am the lead job role at my company and my coworkers are thriving, we have the best sales we've had in years, I'm being recognized regionally, etc., etc. I really like that. I find when I do my manifesting, that's what works best. Also, not me being like, I'm married to the man of my dreams, he is handsome and funny and kind and amazing and my family loves him and la 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 la. Psychotic. I mean, I've been trying, guys. Okay, next one is all the effort in the world won't matter if you're not inspired. Okay, so backstory, I worked in social media for like literally a decade, if not more now. Actually, yes, more than that now. But anyways, and I love my job. I love being a social media manager. I love strategy. I love filming videos. I love editing videos. I love all of it. But when I worked for a digital marketing agency and my clients were a senior home, a hockey podcast, just things I'm not really interested in, like my work really reflected it. So with this one, it's just kind of like when you're inspired, your best self comes out. It's just like that spark, that little twinkle in your eye, like really shines through. And like some of your best work, and like whether it's work or anything else in your life, when you're passionate about something, it really shines through. That could even like relate back to like a fitness routine. Like all the effort in the world doesn't matter if you're not inspired. So if your only goal is to lose weight, but you absolutely hate your workout, like I really believe, yeah, you might lose some weight, but it's probably gonna like pack back on once you like think you've lost enough weight or whatever. So like finding something that you genuinely love and genuinely enjoy is the key. This could relate to so many different things. It could relate to your work. It could relate to your circle of friends. Like, if you're not surrounding yourself by inspiring people, you're not going to enjoy hanging out with them, you know? And so, not inspired, but they could be like funny people. It could be like all sorts of different things, but you have to make sure that your effort is going into things that you're inspired about. If you watch this far, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you are. Just a friendly reminder, we have 2 more to go and then we're done. Okay, this is definitely a lesson I learned last year, and that is don't stumble over something behind you. Last year, I just had so many people, aka men, who kind of came back into my life, and it just like consumed so much of my mental and emotional energy that was completely unnecessary. And I also got some great advice, ladies. If you're listening and you have someone from your past come back and kind of linger, if you will. Like, I spent time talking to someone from my past, and then someone asked me, would this person be someone you introduce to your future husband? And I was like, no. And then she was like, would this person be invited to your wedding when you get married to the man of your dreams? And I was like, no. He's just like, I was bored. And I was like curious and like whatever. And he obviously reached out for an ego boost. So it was just a total waste of time. So don't stumble over something behind you. Take it from me. Okay, last but not least, which is my favorite one and the one I've been really using in my life recently, but also what I'm going to take into 25 is the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. She is so great. You've probably seen her on Instagram or TikTok, or you might even listen to her podcast already because she is incredible. The Let Them Theory is just like learning to like let go and let people do what they want to do. Let people think the way they want to think. Let them go about life the way they want to go, you know? So, for example, like, I don't know, if you have a coworker who just like drives you crazy and like leaves a mess at their desk every day after work, and you're like, oh my God, like I could never. You're not their boss. Let them. If someone has a problem with it, it should be their boss, and your boss obviously isn't bothered by this, so your coworker's messy, and let them. It can honestly like be applicable to so many things in your life. Of course, there are scenarios where it's like, for example, if you are the boss and your employee is not doing their job right, then that's a different scenario. But I think just like letting things go and letting things be as they are, and not getting upset over small, minute details in life. People think differently, people operate differently, and there are so many, whether it be relationships, professional relationships, just the way things are done. An example in like my personal life is like I go home and my dad and my brother live together. My sister's kind of like in and out because she's in med school, and it drives me crazy just like how they're not organized and they don't care. They're men. They're such boys. Like, it's crazy. And I'm like, don't you want to get rid of this? Don't you want to like organize this? And they're like, no. And like many times when I've gone home, I've been like, okay, I'm going to like organize this for you. And then when I come home to visit like months later, it's like completely ruined. And I'm like, okay, this is one of those scenarios where I'm like, let them. And is it going to drive me crazy for the week that I'm here visiting? Yeah. But there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. It's also very applicable to dating. Like, I am trying to dip my toe back into it. I had a guy this week. I just re-downloaded apps. I took a whole 6 months off, guys. And it was blissful. But I'm not going to find a boyfriend if I don't try. So I am back on Hinge. If anyone knows anyone phenomenal, let me know. But it also, the Let Them Theory is great for dating as well. Like, this guy I talked to, he asked me out on Thursday, and then Thursday rolled around and I didn't hear from him. And then I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make other plans. So I went for happy hour with my girlfriend because I missed her birthday. And then I get home at like 6:30, and he's like, wanna meet up? And I was like, no. But like, rather than, I think old me would be like, you know, I was really disappointed, like, Like, if you're gonna ask a girl out, like, I really like someone who, like, organizes something, da-da-da-da-da. But I was like, honestly, you are the way you are. Like, if you don't see anything wrong in, like, asking a girl out and making no plan, that just shows that you have, like, poor organizational skills, poor time management. You're just not thinking of me. You obviously aren't that interested. And you're 38 years old asking me to meet up rather than, like, setting up a coffee, a walk, a dinner date, a drink, anything. So I quite literally was like, you do you, bro. Like, let them. If that's how you operate, you're gonna have to find someone way more chill than me. And I hope you find someone amazing, but I am not her. So the let them theory, look it up on Mel Robbins. Her podcast, she has a few episodes. It's amazing. But, like, even over the Christmas break, I found myself, like, my sister and my brother driving me crazy. They just think differently than I do. And I was like, just let them. Don't say anything. Because I'm the eldest sister, which means I'm outspoken. And I say what I say when I want to say it usually. And I'm like, we're all too old for this. I shouldn't be bossing around my brother and my sister. So I'm just like, okay, go crazy. Bye. See you later. Have fun doing that. Anyways, the let them theory is great, especially if you are like me and you're, like, very passionate and, like, and or have a hard time understanding some people's brains sometimes. It is just giving me a lot more peace in my life and is just allowing me to learn to let go. That's a wrap on today's episode, guys. I hope you take some of these mantras into your own life in 2025. I think last year I really built some great habits, so I'm ready to, like, habit stack and just, like, improve the rest of my life with some of these practices. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to find me on social media at Linz Rosso everywhere. Guys, this year is the year of YouTube, so I'm actually currently vlogging as well. I've been vlogging this week and I have some really fun topics I'll be posting on my YouTube channel. My podcast also lives on my YouTube channel too, so make sure you find me there. And of course, if you're not already in my close friends on Instagram, find me at Linz Rosso and shoot me a DM. I allow the girls and gays in there for right now. And there's exclusive content there. Exclusive as in, like, me talking about my dates when I go on them. Or me talking about my rental scenario, which I just signed another 10 months, 12 months in this apartment, which I wasn't planning on doing, but you'll learn more about that story in Close Friends. Okay, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye!